Have you ever wondered if you are truly living out your destiny? A lot of people are just existing. Don't join them. Now, what if there's a map to your greatest purpose hidden just in plain sight? This week, we are diving into The Alchemist, a book that could change how you see your entire life journey and help you get to where you are meant to go. Now, I've recommended this book a lot to lots of people, and I've received positive feedback about the impact of this book, and now I'm recommending it to you also for you to go out and read the book. Now, I would want you to read this book, so I'll be sharing some lessons that you will learn more when you read this book. Number one lesson you learn from this book is everyone has a legend, right? You have your personal destiny. I have my personal destiny. That's what I mean by this. Now, when you read this book, you will understand that everybody has their own legend, right? So your path can be different from mine, right? At times, we'll be moving through a particular way, but then it will reach a point whereby, we will have to go our ways and follow our own legend, right? Now, your aim is to try to see that you find your own legend. I have my own legend. Everybody has their own legend. You should try to see that you find your own legend. That way, you're going to live a life of purpose. Another lesson you will learn from this book again is that the universe conspires to help you. Yeah, the universe conspires. Now, I call that, the help of God. So now you can actually be living out your purpose, and then along the way, you can actually find some hiccups, right, that will get you stuck. But then trust me, some way, somehow, help comes, and then you find a way to actually cross that. Some things that you could not even explain at times, right? Now they happen to us. So when you're following a particular purpose, right, and a particular course, right, there are times that you may actually get stuck. At the end of the day, the universe will just end up helping you, and then you find a way to cross over. Like I said, for me, I consider that to be God's hand helping me. Another thing again you will learn from this book again is you will learn to listen to your heart, right? So your heart is going to speak to you a whole lot of times. Your heart is going to tell you, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Now you're going to do some particular steps whereby you may not know what to do. You're going to reach some particular crossroads. Now when you reach these particular instances, right, your heart is going to speak for you, right? There are instances whereby you just have to use your own heart. You could call it intuition, you could call it your gut, but then you have to learn to train yourself to listen to your heart. It is very, very much important. Well, of course, you may not listen to your heart all the times though, because you need to also be careful on the things that guide your heart and the principles that make up your own mind, right? You need to also be careful with that, so that before you go and do something wrong and then say justice said we should guide our heart. Well, if you want to understand more about this concept and how to actually guide your heart and follow your heart, right? If you want to understand this concept, I'd advise you read The Alchemist. You will actually see that, find that in the story. Another lesson again that you learn from this book again is you learn to focus on the journey and not just the destination. Now you see, the lessons, experience, and growth that are gained in the journey are very, very valuable. You can't do away with them, right? So it is very, very much important. These things are actually some of the things that makes you, not just the money you would make at the end of that particular thing you are pursuing, right? But the journey also matters a whole lot, right? Because when you have the lessons, basically, it's easy for you to replicate the wealth, right? But then just imagine somebody just skipping steps and then reaching to a particular level. The person may not even understand how to handle that particular level. If you want to understand more about how this actually works, read The Alchemist. Another lesson again to learn is fear is the greatest obstacle. One of the major things that makes dreams impossible to achieve is the fear of failure. Now we let this thing to dominate us a whole lot that we don't even achieve our legend, right? Because that particular thing that you want to achieve seems to be so high, that you don't know if you'll be able to actually reach that height, right? And then it just brings a particular sense of fear into us, and then it makes us not to even achieve what we want to actually achieve. Well, this book addresses that also, right? In the story, you actually understand that overcoming your fear could actually lead to you having great breakthroughs. So just overlook having the fear of the unknown at times. It is very much important, right? If you must fulfill your legend, there are lots of lessons that you could actually learn from this book, which is The Alchemist. I would recommend that you read the book. Trust me, if you know somebody, you can get the person this book as a birthday gift. Read The Alchemist. It's a great book, and so far so good. I don't think anybody has given me a negative feedback from my recommendation of reading this book in particular. This is my advice for you. Take it and please don't leave it.